This is the PECO Virtual School, and we are ready to teach you biology again from where we ended last week. We would like to hear from you. How was the lesson? Did you learn something? I think so. Some of you have done the work we have actually marked, and that is very, very interesting. You know the good thing? Many of you have done the work apart from a few that have not tried at all. And the work is a bit impressive. But remember, we are adding and adding and adding. And I'm telling you, next year, you'll be senior 2. People are saying, how? Yes, you have to go to senior 2. So don't just throw away this work. You need it. Well, think about that. But we are here for classification, as we left last week. And your teacher is Mr. Kizito Julius. Please, we look at classification, and the question is, what is this classification? What does it mean? What is involved? There we are. Classification is a scientific way of putting living things in a specific order and giving them a name. You get things, put them in an order, then you give them a name. Simple like that. Okay. The order in which organisms are put depends on external and physiological characteristics. You look at how they look like externally. Then if they resemble, you put them in the same group. You look at also the internal chemistry of such organisms. Which chemicals do they have? Which hormones do they have? Where are they different? Then you put them in a name. This is one of the oldest part or branch of biology, but very, very, very important to those to do medicine, to those that are going to treat people and other animals. You need this topic, you need this branch of science to really get the basis of biology. Now, this scientific way of naming organisms is known as nomenclature. 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 And the grouping of organisms, depending on their similarities and differences, is known as taxonomy. So if you do that, you can group organisms, you can give them names, then we call you a taxonomist. We saw that in week 1. Hope you remember. And we have very few people for taxonomy in Uganda. Hope you'll be one of them in the future, if you do pick the interest in this. And I'm telling you, very many organisms have not been given names worldwide, including here where we are in Uganda and East Africa. Hope you pick the interest. You go ahead and do this science. But why do scientists, please, this is scientists, why do scientists classify things? Why are organisms classified? Okay, 1, to put organisms in order to reduce confusion. You put them in order, then if you reduce the confusion. Look at what we are talking about. Just imagine that you are at home and then you are looking for your stockings, boys. But as you look for the stockings, you are checking for the stockings in the cupboard, where you have your cups for taking tea or the plates. Oh, that can be absurd. So you know where we put the cups, you know where we put the plates, you know where we put the stockings. This reminds of a friend of mine I visited And after taking tea, then he was telling me, I'm looking for my stockings. And he was checking the cupboard. I almost brought back the tea. I think that can happen to you. So to be organized, you put things of the same importance, of the same function, things that are similar in one place. You cannot get a rat kill, poison for rats, and then you put it where you keep food. You will die. So you want to reduce confusion, you put things in order. Scientists can understand the evolutionary trend. We are going to see this. If names are almost the same, then you get to know that somehow you are related. Have you heard some of your local languages? Lusoga is somehow similar to Luganda, somehow similar to Zulu. Can you apply your history? Would it be that they came from the same area? So scientists can use that. It's okay, because the names are almost the same, then these organisms must have been the same at one point. 3. Scientists can communicate the same way. You talk to a person in China what you want, and the Chinese will understand as a person in USA will understand the same. So once it comes to communication, scientists prefer to use such names, but not pet names. I told you my name is Kizito. Now another person will think that I'm very heavy, but I'm not. I have my neighbor known as Nantumbwe, but she's not having a big Ntumbwe. So the name may be misleading. But the scientific names are given depending on what you are. Some local names are confusing. I have a friend of mine from USA, and when I talked about a coat, the man gave me a jacket, and when I talk about a jacket, the man brought a coat. Some confusion. In some country, when you talk about the railway line, the railway line, they will never understand it. For them, they understand the train road. Now, when I say the train road, many of you are going to laugh. You think it is wrong. That is not scientific. So scientists prefer to use the same name when they are communicating, which have the same meaning throughout. Scientists can get to know how diseases spread among organisms and hence better control. Okay? We have the coronavirus. It can be in these organisms, it can also be in these organisms. If you have HIV, it can be in monkeys, but now the one for monkeys is a bit different. So also in humans. Probably there is a relationship. Probably it came from monkeys to human beings. That's what we are talking about. Remember we said, look at this critically. This, why do scientists classify things? Please, why do scientists classify things? These are the reasons we are looking at. So at the end of the day, studying of living things becomes easy because we are talking about something very, very important that is known by many people. We are looking at a biology classification by PECO Virtual School. These are our contacts. Please always get back to us. We shall make points clear if they are not clear. Now, today, there are 5 kingdoms known to man. And the viruses, if you have ever heard of viruses, they are not grouped. Probably in the future, you will have their own kingdom. In the future, you may have their own kingdom, but not now. The reasons we are going to look at. The 5 kingdoms known as per today are the Protista, Monella, the Panjai, Plantae. People say Planti, but to understand it better, say Plantae. Don't mind how people will laugh at you as you say Plantae, but you want to get the right spelling. And lastly, you have the Animalia. These are the 5 kingdoms known to man apart from viruses. Each kingdom is then divided in small biological groupings known as taxa. If it is one, then it is known as a taxon. These very important groupings, we can't leave them out. Okay, we want to look at them. So if there are many, if one is one, if there are many, what happens? So the biggest group is phylum, if it is one. If there are many, we call them phyla. Don't call them phylums, but phyla. You just remove the last 2 letters and put an A. Then the phylum are divided into the class, and if there are many, we call them classes. Then the class divided into the order, and if there are many, we call them orders. The order divided into the genus. If there are many, we call them genera. Not genuses, but genera. And the species, then you remain with the name species. It has no plural. Now, when giving scientific names to living things, the name will represent the genus and the species to which the organism belongs. Would you understand that? The names are given depending on the genus and the species into which that organism belongs. That's what we are saying. Okay? So, this type of naming of organisms was initiated long ago by a man known as Carolus Linnaeus. So he gave 2 names, and since 2 names are given to these organisms, then this type of classification is known as binomial. Look at this, binomial system of naming. We know that bi means 2. Nomio is the name. So 2 names are given, and we say that this type of naming was started by a man known as Carolus Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus. Okay. The names should be typed in italics or underlined, but differently. If you just type the names, you don't type them in italics, then you'll be in trouble. For example, we want to look at examples of such names. Homo sapiens. Is it in italics? Yes. And look at the first name, Homo. It starts with a capital letter, uppercase. Then the second name should be starting with a lowercase letter. And these are the 2 names, Homo sapiens. Can you guess what this thing is? Homo sapiens. What is it? Let me see. Okay. Did you get the answer? Okay. There we are. Homo sapiens. Now that's where the human beings are. black, white, red, with a smile, you cannot smile. But so long as you're a human being, you're a Homo sapien. Short, tall, fat, and so on. Hairless, with a lot of hair, you remain a human being. Okay? Human beings are known as Homo sapiens. These are the two names. Okay? The genus is Homo, and the species is Sapiens. We look at another example. Felis Leo. How? Felis Leo. But now get at least some of these names. Capital letter or upper case for the first name, and then the second name is having a lower case. Who is this one? Felis Leo. Can you guess? I don't want to waste a lot of your time. Let me give you an opportunity to look at it. Wow. There we are. We have Mr. and Mrs. The lion, Felis Leo. Okay. By the way, let me ask you, what is a lion? I want to get you people to get something in you. On this animal, what we call the lion is this. The beard here is what is known as the lion. And that's why the wife here, without the lion, is known as the lioness, meaning it has no lion. What is the lion? The beard here you have seen on the male one. At least you have learned something in you. If I were you, at least I would smile for the first time. This material has been prepared for you by PECO Virtual School. And please, you have said, always don't be mean. Give the materials to your friends. Encourage them to use the same. There are many. WhatsApp them. Tell them, have you heard of this? And I'm telling you, by the time December comes, we shall be ready to join back school. January, as you go back for third term, I think the material will have made you different. If you want to contact us, our contacts are these ones. As I leave this page, what did I say? I said this is what we call the lion. Felis Leo, okay, we call them the lion. But now this one is a lioness because it has, lion. What is the lion? The beard on this animal. But now it takes the name lion. Felis Leo. These are the two names. Yeah, I have another one. Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica. My two names, capital, all uppercase, lowercase. But this one you can guess. Mangifera. Think about mangifera. Isn't it there? Haven't you eaten it before? Let me see if you got it right. What did you write? Mangifera. Let me see. Who is that one? Some of you guess. The mango tree is Mangifera indica. Mango tree. Mangifera indica. Now, you never have any other thing known as Mangifera indica. But in some cultures, mango means something. You even had people known as mango. So it does not hold water. But you see, Mangifera indica, people will shake their heads. They will understand. Yes, the man means this plant. Do you see why there is a need to use scientific names? Good. Do you need another example? Let us try. Apis mellifera. Someone is saying APC. Apis mellifera. The two names, uppercase, lowercase, and they are in italics. We are following the legislation. That is PECO Virtual School. Okay, who is this one? Honeybees. Wow. Some of you enjoy, you eat them. That is Apis mellifera. The bees we have in Uganda can sting. Let me tell you all about the bees. Australia has got bees that do not sting. Stingless bees. Africa, we have bees that sting. By the way, did you know that the honey from these bees is the best in the world? Hey, that is Apis mellifera. Let me give you another one. At least this one you guess. Which one can I give you? Aloe vera. Now, when you look at the aloe vera, what comes to your mind? You must think about this plant. Okay, the aloe. Some people call it aloe vera. So you can see this is a Latin name, and when you say SPP, that means that there are so many types of that kind. Papaya calica. Papaya calica. As if you are writing Luganda, but this is Latin. The names are in Latin, according to Carolus Linnaeus. They are in Latin. So what is that one? Papaya calica. Have you guessed right? Let me see. You did. That is the pawpaw tree. Okay? Some of you have them in the compound. Some of you in the garden. Some of you in your supermarkets. That is papaya calica. Thank you very much for using our material. We say this is PECO Virtual School. PECO has been here for more than 12 years. No doubt we shall give you the best. No doubt you'll be able to see what we are talking about. Not even in the school that you'll be able to see this. Classwork becomes classwork. Here you get different work, special work. But we are still saying, if there is a challenge, contact us, and these are our numbers. You can just use WhatsApp or an SMS. By the way, even if you beep, we call back. Okay, we go back. Papaya calica was our pawpaw tree. That's where we ended, and we want to move on. Okay, which one should we see? COVID-19. That one, you know. Some of you, you have forgotten that. That's why you are at home. COVID-19 is a scientific name. These are the two names. COVID and then 19. What is it? What is a virus that looks like that? Common name that is not there, then people call it COVID. It is a new thing. The name has not been incorporated in English, but we call it COVID also. This man, we are at home because of this virus. Soon we are going to see viruses are too tiny. I will tell you something about viruses. If I forget, you ask me. Okay, but we move on. Canis familiaris. Canis familiaris. Who did this be? Canis. Have you guessed rightly? Okay, can you cross-check? Aha, that is the dog. I think you have a dog like this at home. Oh, your neighbor has one. It looks delicious. This is Canis familiaris. Now, look at this challenge. Canis familiaris. Now, we have another one known as Canis lupus. Canis, even the other one was Canis. What does this mean? They must be relatives. This is Canis lupus. Can you guess who that is? You guessed rightly. There we are. It looks exactly like a dog, but it's not. This is what we call the wolf. So they are in the same genus, but the species is different. So that means that externally they somehow look similar. Have you got what I've said? They look almost similar. Okay? But because what happens, the species name is different, then somehow they differ. This is what we call a wolf. Musca domestica. Domestica. That means that it is in our homes. Which one is that? Domestica. It is in the homes. Who is that? Let me see. It is the housefly. Musca domestica, a housefly. Okay. Can we please look at viruses briefly so that we end our lesson for today, for this week? Now, viruses, these are microscopic particles that cannot be seen, or they can only be seen only using an electronic microscope. They are said to be living and non-living. Something funny. At one point, they are living things. At another point, they are non-living things. That's why viruses have become a problem to man. Even the COVID is a problem to us. People are saying they are going to have the vaccine. They are going to have the medicine. Medicine for something which is non-living. Something which is non-living. There is a big challenge anti-sale there. That's why even where I am in the studio, I've masked myself. I fear. I have sanitizer around. Now, it can be living once it enters the body and can be troublesome. It is hard to treat a virus because at one point viruses are non-living. Now let us look at common viral diseases, those ones that we know. COVID-19, we can't lose out that. It comes first. HIV, it has been with us for years. We can't leave it out. Mumps, some of you have not seen this. Rubella, smallpox, cough. This COVID, that they are not related at all. The coughs that you know, well, they are also viral, not treatment. Tobacco mosaic, cassava mosaic. There are also many others, but that's what I can give you for today. Probably during your free time, as you write your notes, you can write down as many as possible so that the list increases or grows big. We are looking at viruses again. Okay, and that's what we have said. Why are viruses non-living? They cannot produce on their own. Remember, we said living things can reproduce. They have single DNA. Next time you ask me what DNA is. But this is the genetic material. They cannot respire. Seeing them that they are breathing in and out and then breaking food. No. They don't have cells. No cells. They cannot move on their own. You have to move them. That's why they say sanitize, because you move them in your hands, and then as you touch the eyes, the mouth, the nose, then you put them into your body. If you don't do that, they will remain on your body and they will not cause any harm. HIV, unless something pierces or share blood, it will remain outside your body. So they cannot move into the body. they are only living once inside the body. So outside the body, they are non-living. Reasons why viruses are living: they can cause diseases, they can increase in number. Oh, those who want to continue with biology at A level, like you want to be doctors, they will tell you how they increase now. Okay, they can increase in number. Are they of any importance? Yes. They can spoil food, they cause diseases, they are used to treat diseases. Phenylketonuria is treated using viruses. They are used in biological weapons. They can recycle nutrients, they reduce population. I don't know how many people have died so far of COVID-19, and many people are still dying. This will reduce populations. People are saying, can that be an economic importance? There are those who celebrate because the other friends have died. People make coffins, people make the burial places, and so on. They will celebrate. Causing a disease, can that be an economic importance? Yes. When you fall sick, many people celebrate, and that's why some of you want to be doctors, because you'll be unemployed as long as people fall sick. They are used for study purposes. Some people are there, they wake up in the morning, they waste time studying the viruses. The five kingdoms of classification. That's what you want to look at next time. Okay, we've talked about the Monella, the Protista, the fungi, the plantae, and the animal kingdom. We shall look at them next time in detail. Otherwise, thank you very much for using our material, and this remains PECO Virtual School, and this is our contact. If you have liked our material, please not bad if you can comment us or let us know where there are challenges. Please, we are ready to make adjustments to make biology better, to make all the subjects, not only biology but all subjects, so that you can understand them better than you would understand them when you are in school. We are experts of virtual school now. Have a very good day, a very good afternoon, or a very good evening, depending on the conditions where you are. Otherwise, to me, I'm very sure God is going to protect me. He will protect me tonight till when we meet next week. Bye bye.